Welcome to Weather Extra on CBS News Bay Area. I'm KPIX 5 meteorologist Paul Heggen. Every week, we are taking a closer look at a weather topic, a deeper dive than what we can do within our daily weathercast on KPIX. Since Sunday, March 20th is the vernal equinox, this is the perfect time to look at spring in the Bay Area. Of course, to meteorologists, spring is already here. We round things off for simplicity's sake, so meteorological spring is March, April, and May. Spring is a season when the microclimates of the Bay Area become much more noticeable. For example, average high temperatures in Concord and San Jose rise by about 15 degrees between March 1st and May 31st, while in San Francisco, the average high rises by a whopping 2 degrees. That gradual increase in San Francisco's average springtime temperature, a little bit deceiving, though, because the averages themselves are changing. We're seeing 3 weeks worth of additional above average days in March, April, and May compared to 50 years ago. That kind of sustained increase means the average spring temperature in the city has risen by almost 3 degrees. That is statistically significant over that relatively short time frame. Similar changes are occurring across the rest of the Bay Area as well, and long-term trends across the U.S. echo the same pattern. Spring, like all seasons, is getting warmer due to climate change. Climate Central analyzed 52 years of spring temperature data in 242 different U.S. locations and found that 97% of those locations had an increase in their average spring temperature since 1970, with almost half of those locations warming by 2 degrees Fahrenheit or more. Also, spring isn't just warming, it's shifting. Spring is effectively arriving earlier because of generally warmer conditions cutting into the colder winter months. We can measure that shift with a statistic called growing degree days, which measures heat accumulation over the course of the growing season. You can clearly see the increase in that metric over the last 50 years. This shift can cause longer pest and allergy seasons because an early spring lengthens our growing season. That means that related nuisances like mosquitoes and pollen can appear earlier in the year, stick around for longer. Around the Bay Area, our pollen count was climbing into the medium-high category already by late January this year. Here in the Bay Area, spring also marks the definitive end of our rainy season. April's average rainfall is half of March's, and May's average rainfall is less than half of April's. The Climate Prediction Center's outlook for spring's rainfall shows an equal chance of either above average or below average rainfall for the Bay Area. But obviously the month of March didn't get off to a very wet start. That said, as I'm recording this, there are showers heading for the Bay Area, and hopefully that is a harbinger of more rain chances to come. That's it for this week's Weather Extra. Meteorologist Darren Peck will be back next week to cover another topic, and we are inviting you to play a role. If you have a weather or climate question, just email it to weatherextra@kpix.cbs.com.